का प्रमाण पत्र लेके सोसाइटी में झंडा गाड़ने निकले हो, दांत चियार के टाइम बोल जाओगे। दांत निपोरना सीखो।
Can do it. Environment protection, getting rid of old superstitious habits in some societies, crime, kind of being harsh towards one section of society and helping another section. All these problems can be resolved by determined effort. But let me talk to you as per your life, that is you as students. You are facing challenging time. We have been in pandemic, we have been working from home, we have been studying from home. Hopefully we will be back to our normal lives very soon. And some of us have started going out and traveling and speaking like I go. I've already been to Bombay, Goa and Missouri and Delhi to deliver lectures. But it is actually challenging going forward because of the competition. You are in NIT, which is a good college, and I wonder if I didn't hear that part if Kirtana mentioned. I am also from NIT Kurukshetra. I am an electronics engineer, much before you. Now my classmate has become a chief engineer, so probably much before you. What I am trying to say is that it is important for you to be absolutely calm and collected despite the competition. And absolutely cool despite the competition. What happens is that we get into a restless state of mind, and fear, anger and worry become our enemies, and we get into overthinking. Now there are about 120 of you on the call. Is overthinking our friend? Is our mind our friend or our enemy? Our mind is our greatest friend and our mind is our greatest enemy. Life is the battle of the mind. So the pandemic left many people ultra depressed. Some people even lost their lives and health and immunity because of the mind. It is not only the body, it is the mind. So the effect of the pandemic was at times that when will this ever end and can I live a normal life again? Now if you look at it, the world keeps changing. 2000, 2010, 2020, 2021, every year there is change. All of you I see are from Nagpur. I've been to Nagpur. I mean, you're studying in Nagpur. Obviously, you are from different kinds of places all over the country. Many of you may be from Maharashtra, some from Andhra, some from Gujarat, some from Punjab, whatever. True is that we have to know that all good times and bad times will come to an end. Let me tell you a story to start with. Leander Pace and Mahesh Bhupati. I give a lot of sports stories in my TEDx talks and other talks. You can watch my talks later, not right now. Right now you watch this live talk. Leander Pace and Mahesh Bhupati. Mahesh Bhupati is married to Lara Datta, former Miss Universe. Leander Pace, I think, is married for the third time now. But the main thing about them is that they were the best doubles team in the world for tennis. And they could have been champions of the world for 10 years. They were still playing till about 2-3 years ago. Leander is still playing. But they separated at a time when they were at their peak. They lost the battle of the mind. Top of the world, Wimbledon, US Open, Australian Open, French Open, they won each of them one by one. They could have won the Grand Slam, which is winning all 4 tournaments in 1 year. They could have won 20 times this score. They even won with different partners later after separating, but only one. They lost the battle of ego, battle of the mind. You and I can see some names. Let me mention some names. Arpit, Ayush, Gaurav, Harshini, Kirtana, Pradyumna, Satyam, Suraj. I can see only these at the moment. I know there are 131 of you there. I mean, one is me. Do we want to win the battle of the mind? All of us. Whatever our name is. We have to. Because the mind will tell me I can succeed and the mind will tell me I will fail. I may be 80% good, but I make it 100% because I forced myself to perform better than I was. My mind propelled me forward and I did better than I could. You have seen in sports and in even writing, even in declamation contests, some people, they perform unexpectedly well. Of course, it's not mathematics where if you know mathematical formula, you know them, you don't know them, you don't know. You can't perform unexpectedly well in maths. And all of you are engineering students, you know maths a little bit, right? You can't perform unexpectedly well in maths. But you can perform unexpectedly well in tennis, in music, in maybe an essay writing competition. You can perform unexpectedly well in an interview. Even in life, let me tell you, my friends, you can perform well in life if your mind is with you. If your mind is telling you, I can win this. I can win this battle of life. And on the other hand, if your mind is telling you, no, you cannot do it. Cannot do it. Mahesh Bhupati and Leander Paes had ego problems. They did not have problems of confidence. But if your ego comes in the way, again you cannot. What is ego? Ego is self-centeredness. Me. My. I. I'm from the IAS. I resigned from the IAS, right? Indian Administrative Service. If I had ego, and I had, everybody has ego, I would not have resigned. But I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to be a motivator. And I travel all over India, and one day I'll come to your college also. I went to NIT Trichy, I went to NIT Silchar, so far away. Many other NITs and IITs, of course, but I'll come to your college. But the issue is that I cannot be egocentric in life. My mental health will suffer. I'll say, why did this guy say this to me at the bus stop 4 years ago? Happens to us, no? Why did he shout at me day before yesterday? Why did she not talk to me properly that day in the canteen? Poor things, you all must be missing in the canteen and all. But why did he not like my post on Facebook or Instagram? Sorry, Facebook is old. Instagram is where you live. If we live on Instagram, we will be under pressure to see that we have enough likes, we have enough support, we have enough people responding. Can I let my mind relax a little more than I do? Can I perform better in that case in my engineering and my work? I think you can. One of my books is known as Finding Success Within. Now, Finding Success Within, I'll just type it out here, is a book which gives you 52 life skills. I'm just quickly typing, so I'm not using capitals. And if you look at it, finding success within means what? Where is success? It is actually within us. If you feel that you can conquer the battle of the mind, that means your success is assured. You know and I know, and each of you will ask me, some of you will ask me this question later. Why is it that sometimes I cannot get out of difficult mindsets? Why do I not feel confident? Why do I not become, calm and cool and collected? Why do I always find life difficult? Why do I overthink? Why do I procrastinate? These are the questions that you ask people like me. Whenever I speak, I get these kind of questions. One thing is you must read more books. All your professors, all your teachers, when we were younger, I'm also a visiting professor at Chulini University and other universities. We used to read more books because the smartphone was not there. There were no videos to watch. There was no WhatsApp. There was no Instagram. There was no digital content. We used to read the newspaper from front to end. We used to read books. If you read books even today, whether you read them on a Kindle or phone or hard copy, it doesn't matter. You will find your life to be elevated, your mind to be better, your overthinking to be less. What do you do when you are idle? When you have a gap between two things, two activities, what do you do? Typically Instagram, typically worrying about this, worrying about that. What will happen to me? What will happen to me? What will happen? What will happen if I don't get that placement? Final year students might think, what will happen if I don't get placements? Everybody else gets placements. What will the first year student think? First year will think, oh no, I could have got into IIT, but I got into NIT. I'm also from NIT, as I said. But we overthink. Amitabh Bachchan says on KBC, his dad told him, Harivansh Rai Bachchan said, मन का हो तो अच्छा, मन का ना हो तो और भी अच्छा. Some of you understand Hindi, some of you may not. So I'll repeat in English. What you want, if it happens, great. If what you want does not happen, even better. How is it even better? Who is in charge of this universe? Somebody up there knows that you deserve more than that. You did not get IIT, you got NIT in first year, you are feeling bad. But NIT may prove to be better than IIT. You may be outstanding. You may get more opportunities. You may meet the best professor. You may get the best placement from here. It is possible that someone who's appearing for the IAS exam, I give a lot of mentorship to UPSC candidates. Supposing he gets a rank of 830 in India, he'll get the last service in the list. The lowermost service in that 850 people who are selected every year for UPSC posts. And next year he gets the top 100.
Due to the COVID.
When you do not get something,
Health, mental awareness.
It may be because something better is in store for you. So by overthinking, over worrying, over stressing, over being tense, we are only defeating our own mind. We are defeating our health, we are defeating our own competition, we are defeating our own prospects. It is not the thing to do. It is highly important for us to back ourselves wherever we are, whatever we do. Think of the mindset of a railway gate man. Railway gate man, what does he do? He opens the gate for a train twice a day. In a village, a rural area, let's say, small railway crossing. What's his job? Open the gate at 4 o'clock, close the gate, open the gate again at 8 o'clock, whatever it is. Close the barrier, open the barrier. Close the barrier, open the barrier. Twice a day. He is patient, he is calm, he is cool. He has only that job. Rest of the day listening to the radio, playing with his dog and maybe reading a book or talking politics, whatever he's doing. His mind is not telling him that, oh no, what if I don't close the barrier on time? What if I don't do this on time? He's not stressed out. He doesn't have that aspiration or ambition that you and I have. But can we learn from him to be cool and calm despite their ambitions? Let's think of somebody highly successful in the world who was cool and calm. Let's think. Let me give you 2-3 examples. Nelson Mandela. Look at his smile. Look at Gandhiji's smile for that matter. There's a photo of Pandit Nehru and Gandhiji smiling and laughing together. In a train perhaps. What a smile. Look at Barack Obama. 8 years as the President of the United States. Cool guy. Smiling, laughing, cheerful. Family man. Not Mr. Trump. Barack Obama. Amazing man. Power did not go to his head. He had more burdens than you and so when you emulate people like that, When you have
और गाड़ी
idols
स्टार्ट
like
कर
that, who are not
मेरा
stressed out,
धोनी
complaining kind of
जूनियर
people,
है कोई सेकंड ईयर
then you become a better version of yourself.
2020 का
What is our aim? Our aim is to become version
इट इज
10.0
स्टिल वंडरफुल
of whoever you are. You keep evolving. So mental health will suffer if we overthink and overstress. Many of us, most of us who have mental health issues, we don't have mental illness. There's two different things. Mental illness could be schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever it is. I have also known somebody who has this kind of thing. Most people just fret and fear and worry to death themselves because they are afraid of the worst. And the worst never comes. The worst never happens, but they scare themselves and worry themselves so much. So, by being your best friend, by being your best champion, by being your best supporter, you can back yourself to bounce back from any situation. I'm a motivational speaker. I have spoken at hundreds of places. I will come and go. You have to fight the battle of life yourself. I'll give you 7 C's now. These 7 C's will help you to remember this formula of 7 C's because you are all formula-centric people, mathematics and physics and bio, and or not bio, engineering subjects, right? I've also been there like you. Formulas are easy to remember. Vivek Atray, you may not remember, right? But you will remember this. Yes, Dhoni, somebody saying Dhoni, absolutely correct. Dhoni is a great example. Super example. Multitasking, wicket-keeper, batsman, captain. But Mr. Cool. Okay, the formula is 7 C's. The 7 C's are, the first is courage. Without courage, nothing can be achieved. You have to be a little bold, fearless, or at least have less fear. हम लोग गवर्नमेंट में होते थे तो लोग कहते थे आई वाज आईटी डायरेक्टर आई सेड इफ यू कांट बी पेपरलेस at least have less paper. Reduce it. Reduce fear. Reduce fear. Sometimes you can feel scared also. You are human. You are not a machine. It's okay. Not every day worrying all the time. That's not life. Number 2, creativity. By being courageous, you can do creative things also. Creativity means music, art, literature, poetry, sports, photography. Have some passion in your life which is creative, which makes your heart, beat faster. Not only your girlfriend, boyfriend, that should be a creative pursuit which makes your heart beat faster. दिल धड़कता है. और उससे क्या होगा? You will be able to make a mark in life. Okay, we do engineering, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, whatever. But we should do something that is rare, new. Also in our work, we need to be innovative and creative. All entrepreneurs have to be creative. Even executives have to be creative. CEOs have to be creative. Team leaders have to be creative. I often say, because I've been director of IT and industries in government, I've seen both sides of the table. I often say that all your engineering skills will be needed only for the first 5 years. And maybe not even that. Someone like me didn't use even 1 day of engineering skills. After 5 years, what will you do? Your coding is over, your electronics is over, your research is going on. It's okay, some people remain in research forever. That's great. But most people become team leaders and then you have to manage people and get the best out of your team. Being the best scientist will not help you to get the best out of your team. The best history, chemistry teacher never became the best principal of the school. There some other skill is required. Dhoni type skill is required. Man management, people management, emotional intelligence. So I need to understand that I'm creative and I'm doing new things and I'm understanding people. Let's go to the next C. The next C is calmness. Calmness is your best friend. Fretting, worrying, feeling scared will not help. Meditation helps me to remain calm. Morning, evening, you meditate. Take out 10 minutes. Wake up 10 minutes early if you can. Put that alarm early. Anyway, you snooze it about 6 times. Snooze in the morning. Everybody does it. Try to meditate for 10 minutes in the morning and before sleeping. I meditate for an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. Okay, I took voluntary retirement. I can do it. But why not 10 minutes? Be calm. Work on your calmness. Paramahansa Yogananda said, author of the autobiography of a yogi, which is my favorite book, he said, be calmly active and actively calm. Calm and active. And actively calm. Work on your calmness. Next is character. Character is the key. C for character. You have to have values, integrity, honesty. No shortcuts. No point in destroying somebody else's chances to further your own chances. Doesn't work like that. Like in Bhag Milkha Bhag, the movie, somebody spoiled his shoes so that they could win and he could lose. Milkha. But Milkha won anyway. You have to improve your own running. You can't spoil somebody's shoes. Character. When somebody is not watching, nobody is watching, how are you at that time? That is your character. But again, we are human. I don't say you have to be perfect. You ate somebody's chocolate. Okay? You don't do it again. Now you are grown up, so chocolates are also grown up. There are other things apart from chocolates. You have to be careful. Character means you improve from what you did wrong. You don't feel guilty. Next is compassion. You cannot be egocentric, self-centered. Think of others. Think of the world. Think of poorer people, underprivileged society. Teach someone, plant a tree, make an NGO, work on a Sunday, voluntary. There's an ad on TV, Shiva Srigal ad, but they don't say it. Rahul Khanna, Vinod Khanna's son, is acting in that ad. He says, be remembered for good. What does it mean? It's a double meaning. It's a good double meaning. Be remembered for good means be remembered forever. And it means be remembered for good things that you do. Compassion for others will help you. Next is contentment, which means being grateful for what you have. Don't be ungrateful, thankless. Don't think that I don't have this, I don't have that, my parents didn't give me this or whatever. There's no point being like that. Be thankful, grateful. I feel grateful every day for the opportunity to speak to young people. I speak many times a day. And 150 of you are there. So 150 new friends I have today. 150 new friends. I'm grateful. Contentment doesn't mean that I'm sitting haath pe haath rakh ke, I don't want to do anything else. No. I am ambitious. I want to do more. I want to travel. I want to speak. I want to be successful as a speaker. I want to be famous. But I have to be thankful for what I have. Grateful to God. Be connected to God. And the next is a skill. Communication. 6 qualities and 1 skill. Communication. Communication skills are skills which you need vitally. You can be the best scientist or engineer. You have to present, you have to speak. Public speaking skills also important today. I hold many workshops on public speaking and people are scared of the stage. It's normal. I was not a speaker in college. I became a writer and started writing a little bit. I am still a writer. It's my 4th book is out. I mentioned 2 books on the chat. One is It's Still a Wonderful Life and one is Finding Success Within. So I always say that writing and speaking is very important. Whatever you do, you have to present it. Let me tell you another story. This story is about Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe was again a tennis player. He was Wimbledon champion in the 60s or 70s. Top of the world. American black player. First black male to win Wimbledon. Althea Gibson was the first black lady to win Wimbledon. Your GK should also be good. Whether you are preparing for UPSC or not doesn't matter. GK is very important. Not only engineering subjects. Everything is important. So, Arthur Ashe was very successful, top of the world. After certain amount of years, maybe 10, 15 years, he was dying. He was critically ill. Virtually on his deathbed. And he died later. He was getting letters from his fans all over the world by handwritten letters at that time. There was no smartphone. The letter said, Arthur, why is this happening to you? Why not to somebody else? We wish it was happening to somebody else, not you. We love you so much. Great man, great sportsman. Now Arthur Ashe wrote back. He says, he was writing letters back. He was in his bed, but he used to write back. He says, when I won Wimbledon, I was on top of the world. I was the best tennis player in the world. Millions of people play tennis, but I was there on top of the world. I did not ask God, why is this happening to me, God? Why have I won Wimbledon? Why am I so successful? Did I ask God? Did you ever ask God when you got 100 out of 100? Or even 95, whatever you get these days, all of you get more than 95. So ask God, God, how did I get 95? We never thank Him after that. You worked hard, yes. So He says, I have no right now when I am ill to ask God, why is this happening to me, God? Why not to somebody else? Can we have that kind of mindset? A thankful mindset. When good things happen, I say thank you. When bad things happen, I don't cry. Can we be like that? Yes, you can. 80% or 90% of the time we have to be like that. Thankful. Maybe sometimes you have become, in Hindi belt we say, rondu type. Dukhi Atma. Always crying. There's somebody in your class also must be like that. Don't make fun of him or her. Encourage him or her to change. Don't be a crybaby. Crybabies are those who say, oh no, light nahi hai, garmi hai, ye hai, wo hai. Why you want to be like that? Why do you want to be like that? You have to improve your mindset. Be grateful. If you are grateful, you will be successful. And one or two more points I'll give you before interaction. I think we have some good interaction. I know that you're bright people, so I'll be happy to take your questions after a while. You can, somebody will conduct the question answers. So the issue is that success comes to all of us at times. And you will all be successful in various ways. Some less, some more, but all successful, largely successful. Can we handle success? Most people say, how to handle failure? That's another subject which I have in my videos on YouTube. You can follow my channel by the same name, Vivek Atray. My spelling is A-T-R-A-Y. You can see on Instagram or YouTube also the videos. How to handle failure I have already given many times. But how to handle success? You're a topper, you're going to get a great job, whatever it is. Maybe not. Sometimes you'll be successful in it. Can we be humble? Can I have humility? Look at Dhoni, you were mentioning Dhoni. Dhoni never raised his voice. Dhoni never gives the impression of being arrogant or uncouth. Always well behaved. Kohli was like that initially. Now he's also tempered down. Of course, he got married also. That helps people to become cool. And he had a baby also. So he's become less aggro than he used to be. But not as much as Dhoni. I'm getting a lot of smileys on that. Success goes to the head. And when success goes to the head, then humility goes out of the window. I was in the IAS. Salute. Everybody's saluting you. Everybody's praising you. Everybody's coming, sir, 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 this, sir, that. If we allow it to go to our head and become arrogant, then you are finished. Yes. You will not be Kohli or Dhoni. You will not be captain of India one day. Dhoni is retired. Mentor now. And Kohli also after 5 years. Life goes on. Ups and downs of life go on. We cannot be constant. Your career is about to start. One day it will be about to finish. 30 years, 35 years later, retirement time. Or maybe 40 years. The issue is we need to be even-minded, humble, grounded, good human beings, compassionate, calm, creative. All these words I keep using because I drill it into my students, my audiences. Very happy to see so many students attending this because often I get about 80, 70 in colleges. Today I have 150. Very nice. And yesterday my book has been launched, so I'm on a high anyway. It's called It's Still a Wonderful Life. That's mentioned is the second one. It's the fourth one actually. And I hope that some of you read it. Okay, it's on Amazon. But generally I must tell you, read books. Read books out of your syllabus. Autobiographies, stories. Reading books, whether you're a techie or not techie, doesn't matter. Read and write more. Very good for you. Thank you. We'll have an interaction now. Stay connected with me. Find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever you want to find me. And I'll be happy to take your questions. Thank you. Over to you. You can
Sir, that was him.
Or Kirtana can conduct. Yeah, over to you.
Yes, sir. I'll conduct the question. Sir, that was a motivating and fascinating speech, sir. And I'm confident that our students learn something more knowledgeable today. And sir, first of all, congratulations on launching your fourth book yesterday and titled it as It's Still a Wonderful Life. And definitely we will give it a read. And now, sir, allow us to take some questions from the students.
Yes, I can see a question. Should I read? Should I answer it? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir, you can.
He says, today many children of age even less than 10 are on social media and looking at current situation on social media. Negative things, thoughts are spreading with speed more than the speed of light. So how much important is it to educate the young kids on what things to take from social media and what not? It's a good question. Now the thing is that we are all young at one time, we are children at times, we were below 10, all of us. You never became 30 years old without being 10. When you are 10, you are susceptible to distraction. When you are 20, you are also susceptible to distraction. And distractions are a part of life. Social media has added to the distractions. So the thing is that we need to be in control of our own selves. And sometimes you may digress. You may spend 100 hours more than you thought per month. But you try and reduce that to less next month. And if it is a child, like you said, 10-year-old, etc., the parents have to be communicating with those kids. If parents are communicating with the kids, then the kids will share with the parents what they are watching and sharing and seeing. Because they are not communicating enough and children are alone and the parents are working long hours, then the problem arises. And if your children are brought up well, they are given that confidence, that courage, that correctness. They will make some mistakes, but not many. And it's okay to make some mistakes. All of us have made mistakes in life sometimes. Nobody's perfect. But we try to improve. I think it's very important for parents to keep communicating with those children. We cannot tell them you watch this and you don't watch that. Unless you put that whatever filter is there. You cannot. And that also they will find it somewhere else. So you have to be having faith in the kids and communicating well with them. Parents and children. Now you are kids also. You are also 18, 19, 20, whatever you are. You need to communicate with your parents. And they need to communicate more with you. Because often, say you want to be a photographer in life, you have got into engineering, there are some people like that. They wanted to be something else and they were somewhere else. How will your parents agree? Only if you are patient with them. You cannot say, Mama, I want to do this, I don't want to do that. And she says, no, you can't do it. And then you run away and next 10 years you don't talk to each other. It doesn't work like that. We love them, they love us. Be with them, talk to them. Both ways it has to. And if you are communicative and empathetic, then it Okay, I answered that question. You have to be in communication with the kids. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. I got a question, and thank you for the answer, sir. And the next question is, sir, should education make you more wiser? If yes, how can schools and colleges of our country produce not only brilliant brains, also wiser humans?
Very good. Excellent question. See, wisdom is something which doesn't come easily. It cannot come through instruction, information. I may know the distance from here to the planet Mars or Saturn. I may know how many wickets Kapil Dev took and how many wickets Bumrah took. That is information. But am I wise enough to know what to say in front of my mother-in-law? Or what not to say in front of my mother-in-law? Or what to say in front of kids? What to say in front of somebody, ladies? Are the boys wise enough to know what to say in front of the girls? So we have to be understanding ourselves. And education systems typically don't teach these things. They teach us only knowledge, vocational. Books are great, but information is not knowledge. Wisdom is not. And that means the education system has to give challenges to students which are creative, where their leadership is also prepared. Unless we are preparing leaders of tomorrow, education is incomplete. As I said, you'll be a techie for 5 years when you go to the industry. After that, you'll be a team leader. Maybe 3 years. They'll give you 5 people to work with. Where are you going to lead them? How are you going to lead them? It's very important that you lead them towards tomorrow in a better way. I think that's very important. If you are preparing for IAS or IPS, please go for it. I resigned because I became a speaker. Otherwise, I served for 25 years in the Haryana service and then the IAS. So I think it's important for you to work hard, any competition. Those of you who are wanting to be entrepreneurs, please give it a best shot. Parent support is important. Convince them. Those of you who are planning to study abroad or go abroad for something, remember that India is your country. Go, but come back. Always look after your parents and your family. These are important things to remember. Right? I think we can now wind up, Kirtana.
Sir, can we take one last question?
We can.
Okay. Sir, what inspired you to move to this side of being an influencer and the motivational speaker rather than doing a job in civil services?
Yeah, so I spent 25 years, which is a long time. And I didn't want to spend 10 more years because I was in a busy situation and no creativity. And I was absolutely, caught up, and I wouldn't have been able to do this public speaking and writing and creative things which I do now. Plus, I realized that youngsters are under pressure. Somebody needs to go, and more people than only me. Many people need to go and do a lot of things which are motivational. So if you become motivators, I become motivational, then it will work very well. And we will definitely make a network of motivators. That's what is important, and that's what we should. Right? So being motivational is why I resigned. Now I have more following than I had in the IAS, so I'm happy. And people listen to me, and I said in the beginning that people like Beard Biceps interview me, which I was very scared because I didn't know what he'll ask me. But he said, sir, I'm more scared of you. So I said, chalo, ek dusre se dar rahe hain, to theek rahega. But we had a good interview. So be in touch with me. You can always ask me questions on you'll find me on social media. All the best.
Thank you, sir. And now I request our Access Professor in charge, Vijay Kale sir, to share his thoughts. Sir, you're not audible.
Good evening all. I am Vijay Kale, Professor in charge for Access 2021. It is my privilege to thank Vivek Atray sir, Ex IAS motivational speaker, author, mentor, advisor, columnist and a visiting professor. I express my gratitude to Atray sir for sharing his views on the topic overcoming the effects of COVID on mental health. I appreciate the team Access for organizing this event at the most appropriate time. This is because COVID situation is not a very pleasant situation, and so many of us has a logic. If situations around you are unpleasant, you will also become unpleasant. And look at this logic. Is this logic intelligent? If situations around you are unpleasant, it is not all more important to important that you must become pleasant within yourself. And why this is so? Because your mind and your body will work best only when you are pleasant and joyful within yourself. In the end, I thank you all for your presence and active participation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts. And on behalf of the whole Access team, I extend a sincere thank you to Mr. Vivek Atray, sir, because he took time out of his extremely busy schedule to attend the event. Our minds have been educated by your views, sir. We heard your thoughts and opinions today, and they will undoubtedly inspire us in our lives. And thank you everyone for gracing this event with your participation. And don't forget to wear a mask when you step out. Thanks a lot for your support. Kirtana signing off.
Thank you. All the best.